Breeze Heat family, welcome to the Breeze Heat show. Welcome to the Breeze Heat. No, just playing. What's up, Breeze Heat family? We're back and we have a lobster and steak taco. Talk about a surf and turf. I topped this with a chimichurri sauce, and if you're here, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe so you can get all of these recipes from your girl, because I am back on YouTube and I am better, okay? You can expect weekly videos from me, even some 2 times a week. But if you aren't already subscribed to my recipe site, I have the link below, as well as all of the ingredients that we're going to be using. That's kind of like going to be your grocery list, so go ahead, grab all of those items, grab those things, turn on this video, and cook with your girl. To marinate our steak, I do the same marinade every time. I just add in some sliced yellow onions. I also add in a little bit of cilantro, and I'm going to be using some orange juice. Now that's going to help tenderize your meat while it's marinating. The cilantro, I like to just cut. It doesn't have to be like too small, because honestly we're just using this for our marinade. It don't have to be nothing too special, okay? But don't put too much pressure on yourself. Give this a nice little rough chop and set the rest of your cilantro to the side, because we're going to be using it later in our chimichurri. So go ahead, set some of that to the side. Only use some of that for the marinade. Add in that orange juice. These are all of the spices that I'm going to be using for my steak marinade. So go ahead and screenshot that. Get that added in along with your cilantro and onion. Give a really nice mix. Now, I like to mix it before I add my steak in, just to make sure it's well incorporated, and I don't have to get like a bunch of clunked up seasonings on one part of the steak, if that makes sense. So once you're done with all of these steps, this is how your marinade should look, nice and juicy. I am going to be using a skirt steak. You can use flank steak, ribeye, whatever you like. I love it, but I honestly think that skirt steak is the best for steak tacos. It's personally my choice every time I make steak tacos, and it's even good like without a taco too. Skirt steak is like one of them ones. And as a foodie, I go into a lot of grocery stores, so I can say that this is fairly priced and evenly around all of the grocery stores. So go ahead and get your steak all up in there, get it all juicy, all of those juices on top, that marinade, and go ahead and set it aside, because now it's time to make our chimichurri. If you've never had a chimichurri sauce, it's a sauce that was based from Argentina. It's made with a lot of fresh herbs. They also use garlic, oil, and some red wine vinegar. You'll see how I set all of this up. The chimichurri is what I'm going to top my taco in. I just think it's going to really bring that surf and turf flavor. So go ahead and give that a nice fine chop. You'll see that I'm going to be chopping a lot of these vegetables kind of small, because for a chimichurri, it's not really something where you need like really big bites of stuff. So I'm going to be making like really small diced pieces. I want to make them kind of uniform, because you don't want any of them to be like too big or stand out too much, because the chimichurri just really doesn't need like super big things. It has all of that flavor with everything small coming together. But once you're done with your shallot, go ahead. I like to set everything into a nice little bowl to the side so I can combine everything later. And just again, the prep work in the beginning, like I said, is a lot, but it's really just you and your cutting board. Turn on some tunes, some music, your favorite show, podcast, whatever it is. Get this chopped up, and I promise you'll be done in no time. For garlic, if you're someone who doesn't really know how to peel garlic, just listen to these few steps, okay? Cut, smash, and peel. Yay! And if it's easier for you, keep you a little trash can to the side, so you gotta keep going back and forth. And when you're done cooking, you can just use this, throw it all away. So now let's go ahead and chop up the garlic. I might need to add some more, low key, but we'll pretend like that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now I'm a garlic girl, so add as much garlic as you desire. I'm probably gonna end up adding more. You want these to be nice and minced. You don't want no big old pieces of garlic in your chimichurri. And once you have all of your garlic chopped up, like I said, I did add about 3 to 4 more cloves for my chimichurri, but that's just because I absolutely do love garlic. I'm also making enough chimichurri for me to have in my household for about the next week, because we can put this on top of anything. You can put it on top of chicken, steak. I always end up making a lot more than I need for just one recipe. It does take a little while, but I promise you it's definitely worth it. I feel like I'm gonna cook and show. And I got these little bowls from Walmart. If you want, I'll go ahead and link those down in the description area below. One of my favorite things to put like smaller herbs like onions, garlic, and stuff like that in without wasting like an entire big silver bowl. Now, if you're someone who loves a lot of spice, you can go ahead at this step, instead of the red bell peppers that I'm using, you can go ahead and add in a red Fresno chili. I'm just using some of these sweet bell peppers. I just like the way it tastes in there, and I also love the red look to it. It gives it a nice contrast in the chimichurri. Once again, we're going to go ahead and chop up these very small, similar to the same size that we did before. Now, this did come with like the pack of like green and yellow and orange. And here's a little fun fact. Did you know a green bell pepper is just an unripe red bell pepper? Which is so crazy to me because the taste is completely different. But if you ever let a green bell pepper, or if you've ever planted any like I have before, you see that they actually do turn red after sitting there for longer. Yes, I know it's crazy, but here's another bell pepper fact. Red bell pepper, if you dehydrate it and blend it up, it's nothing but paprika. Mind blown. Anyway, go ahead and get this chopped up into some nice diced pieces. As you can see, that's what I'm doing. Take your time with your knife. This is not a rush. Ain't nobody in the kitchen watching you trying to see how fast you chop. These knives are sharp, so please, please, please stay safe, y'all, okay? Like I said, at this point, your iPad should be on, or your favorite song or something, and you should just be in there vibing, chilling. Grab you a glass of wine or a beer, whatever you need, but just go ahead and relax. Cooking can be fun, and it can be relaxing. I think that we just all need to take a little time to slow down in the kitchen, okay? Like I said, a chimichurri has fresh herbs, so I'm going to be combining, this is both parsley and cilantro. I didn't feel like I needed to cut them separately because they're going into the same thing, so I'm cutting them together. And as you can see, I'm trying to really be mindful of my hands. What you can do is take that knife and grab the top of it. Just use that to guide you as you chop all of your ingredients. Now what you can do is go ahead, just like the garlic, chop it into different directions until it's nice and small. You want these to be really, really small bite-sized pieces, especially for the herbs, because nobody wants a big clunk of herbs in their chimichurri. Trust me, they don't. Now, this process may take you like 2 to 3 minutes, but like I said, it's totally worth it. Just be safe with these knives, baby. Don't be in there saying, I was trying to try your recipe and I cut my finger off, because I ain't got no insurance, okay? Well, I got insurance for me, but I ain't got insurance for y'all. So for our next step, you're going to go ahead and grab out your oil, your vinegar, crushed red pepper, some salt and pepper, because we're about to combine all of this into our bowl. We just need to get it nice and condensed. Like if you can still see the leaf in there, then it's just way too big, okay? You need to not be able to recognize the leaf at all. It needs to be really, really small. I feel like I never get to see when y'all make my recipes, so if you do try it, either message me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, or drop a comment and let me know that you tried it. I would love to see it. Even if it don't turn out the way you wanted it to, just drop the comment, okay? I'm also here to help, so if you have questions about the recipe before you start, go ahead and ask. I'm gonna do my best to get to you as soon as I can, all right? All right, back to our chimichurri. We're going to go ahead and combine our parsley, cilantro, garlic, red peppers, our shallots. We're going to also add in some olive oil. It can just be a regular olive oil. I would only suggest olive oil and not vegetable or canola. But hey, we're also going to add in some red wine vinegar, crushed red peppers, salt, and pepper. And like I said, I'll have all of the ingredients as well as the measurements listed down below in the description box. If you're confused on how much to use of something, go ahead, click description below, and it'll all be there for you. Also use that as a guide in the grocery store to kind of figure out what you're going to need and just bring all of your items out so you can be nice and prepared while you're cooking. And this is my chimichurri sauce, y'all. It is so good, so lovely. I love to just give it a taste because sometimes you can add a little bit too much vinegar, but if you add a little bit too much vinegar, add in some salt as well as a little bit more olive oil, and it'll help balance it all out so it's not super vinegary, okay? Get my lobster meat out of the shell. I love to cut it down the middle with some scissors and kind of pop it open, like pushing through the back and opening it up. From there, you can just pull the meat all the way out of the tail. Be sure to cut back in the tail far enough so you get all of that meat though. Go ahead and cut it into some like bite-sized pieces. I would like to keep them nice and uniform so I know it's all cooking at the same rate and the same time, because there's nothing worse than like one piece that's overdone, one piece that's just right, one piece that's, you know, lobster is very finicky. But for my lobster, I went with kind of like a Creole seasoned blend with some salt, pepper, using the Creole and the Old Bay. Actually turned out to be really good because it was a nice fusion between those Latin flavors and seasonings and the Creole seasonings. Paired with that chimichurri sauce, it's like a world globe kind of party in your mouth. I like to add just a little bit of olive oil and get it nice and mixed. You want to just kind of turn it a few times. I try not to do too much with the lobster because, like I said, it's a seafood and it's a little bit delicate. At this point, your steak is nice and marinated. If you want to marinate your steak the night before, trust me, I am not going to tell you not to do that, okay? You can literally see how it absorbs all of that flavor, and these are just going to be so good. Now, since this skirt steak is a lot bigger than the pan that I'm going to be cooking it in, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in half just so I can cook them both at the same time. And like I said, my pan is not that long, okay? You're just going to go ahead and heat up some olive oil in a pan. I cooked mine on a nice high heat, kind of around a 7 or 8. If you're someone who likes medium steak, this is going to work for you. If you like well done steak, I would suggest turning it down a bit so it's not burning and it actually is cooking through while you also get a good sear at the same time. After about 4 minutes on each side, I went ahead and got my lobster in the same pan. I cooked it down with a little bit of butter, about 2 tablespoons. For about 4 to 5 minutes. Lobster is really quick. And once my lobster was done, I went ahead and fried my tortillas on each side for about 2 minutes because I wanted a nice crispy taco. From there, you're just going to go ahead and build your taco, add your surf and your turf, and most importantly, that chimichurri sauce. And my kids think that they need to eat pico with all their tacos. So I made some pico, some arroz salmin. I added a little bit of guacamole to the side. And that's just how I'm going to enjoy these tacos. And if you don't already, you can follow me on all socials at Breeze Heat. I'll have those linked below. Check out my other recipes on my channel, and you already know, subscribe for Breeze Heat for more.